Hey guys, welcome to day 25 of Unlocked in 30, and today we're going to talk about cleansing. Well, not really that kind of cleansing, but honestly, cleansing the skin is one way of detoxing because our skin is one of the biggest organs in the body and a lot of toxins get in through the skin. But I wanted to come off of what we talked about yesterday as far as extreme ownership and really taking the first step, and that's cleansing the body. You know, if you think about this, we're all walking around with a lot of chemicals and toxins that build up in our body throughout life. And whether it's from a diet related, what we put in our system, maybe environmental, what we're exposed to over our life, or just in general, it gets to our body somehow through the skin, through what we eat, we breathe, we drink. Things just happen over life. Maybe you've been on a medication. So here's the thing: is reality is when we eat something or ingest and it gets into the intestine, things build up over the intestines over the years and basically limit and block what we absorb. And if it doesn't get absorbed, then our bodies don't use it or are not able to utilize it for its benefit. So this could be something as far as you're nutritional, maybe you're a super healthy eater, but if it's not getting absorbed from the body, then what good is it doing you? Maybe you're on a medication for a certain condition, a health condition that your doctor put you on this medicine. Well, if it's not getting absorbed, then what ends up happening, they start upping your dosage. So there's a lot of little things that you don't think about, but as we go on and our bodies are toxic, we're usually carrying around anywhere from 8 to 10 pounds of sludge throughout our system. So people are just walking around with all this extra weight, slower metabolism, the cells in their bodies are not working as efficiently, they're just full of chemicals and toxins. One of the easiest ways to determine if someone is toxic is look at their body fat percentage. And the reason is, the body fat is basically just built up chemicals and toxins throughout the body. And one thing you want to think about is your brain is the fattest organ in the body. So if all these chemicals and toxins are building up and your brain's the fattest organ in the body, then you wonder why, or you don't wonder why, you know why people are either sluggish, not feeling well, depressed, angry, moody, they don't sleep as well. It could be symptoms, or it could be something severe disease. It could lead all the way to Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and then that's when you start hearing about terms of chelation, trying to pull these chemicals, metals out of the system. It's just an ongoing thing. So the biggest thing is, I think, instead of waiting until the very end to where you're at that disease condition and you're having to rely on a medication to live, then do daily simple things that can detox your body, keep your body flowing efficiently, then your organs can do their job, and then everything functions better, then your performance is better, you can work out better, you're not typically worried about injury as much, or so if you do get an injury, you can recover a lot quicker. And then on the flip side, you're not having to go to the medical side as much, and you're not having to sit there like all of our clients coming in and say, well, I'm on this medication for this, I'm on this medication for that, and it's just an ongoing thing. So real quick, I'm gonna dive real fast into the cleansers that I take and what I do. And again, this is just stuff I've learned from experts out there and what they do. So I've incorporated it into my toolbox, and this is what I use on a daily basis. So first thing is first, cleanse. I use a liquid cleanse, and one thing you want to think about is, this isn't the answer to everything. I just want to show you what I do, but there's 7 ways that we can eliminate toxins from our body, chemicals and toxins. One being your lungs, your liver, lymphatic system, blood, kidneys, skin, intestines. Anywhere in the body where the blood flows, this purges and pulls out a lot of the chemicals and toxins as a liquid cleanse. So this isn't meant like some of those cleansers on the market where you just go in there and basically take it and I'm good for take it for 7 days, you're good. No, you got to think about this. You're exposed to chemicals every day of your life, toxins every day of your life. You breathe it in, you drink it, you eat it. You put lotions on, whatever. If you take a shower, you got chlorine, fluoride getting in through your skin. All this stuff is beating your body down over time. So if we don't combat that, then you're just susceptible to injury externally, internally throughout your life if you don't treat it. So another thing that I like that is really good is daily detox. This one goes through and supports the botanicals for the 3 phases of cleansing. This one, when you think about the 3 phases, the first phase, when it hits the lungs, liver, your kidney, and your colon. The second phase, whenever the bile from the liver is released to help break the chemicals that's been released from the liver down into to more soluble, so that the third phase we can eliminate it. So that kind of assists in the process of eliminating toxins. Another product that I really like and I take, and again, these are just because of the multi-benefits from it, is organic sulfur, MSM. And you think about this is sulfur actually back in the early 30s or 40s when they start using chemicals and pesticides as manure, versus manure, then our farmland and all the nutrient mineral content actually that was in the soil was pretty much depleted. So the only time I think you're ever going to really find statistics wise any organic sulfur MSM in 99.9% in your food source is if you live in Hawaii, which most of us are here in the US or in other countries. So With that being said, different ways of getting into it. You have to supplement or put, find a really good organic source to add into your diet from that aspect. The organic sulfur basically detoxes the body, helps get rid of a lot of chemicals and toxins, so that, again, when these toxins are stored in your body, for example, like the body fat, our any body fat percentage is the easiest way to determine someone that's super toxic, because, fat is just chemicals and toxins built up in the body. So, whatever percent you want to be at, that's your choice, but just know that your health benefits are going to be a lot more concerning as you age, because of how our body basically declines in its ability to function. And then when you basically add increased fat onto that, then the exponential increase in health concerns is a lot higher at risk, because of the way it shuts our organs and basically the way our body works. So the organic sulfur, like I said, goes in there, helps detoxify, get rid of a lot of acid in the body, a lot of the chemicals and toxins. So indirectly, you may notice something like decreased pain, improved hair, nails, because a lot of these toxins that build up in your system decrease the way our bodies actually present on the outside. So you can easily sometimes too, not just by body fat percentage, but look at their hair, their nails, their skin, and just in general, their external features are telling a lot about what their internal features and what's going on inside their body. Another one that I really like and do on a daily basis is called noni. So this is out of the Polynesian islands of Hawaii, and you're only going to find this grown in volcanic soil. And so the mineral content is really high. Actually, this is the highest superfruit you can get on Earth. It's 100% pure extract. This noni in particular, you just drink an ounce or two a day. Basically, it's antiviral. So if anyone suffers from any kind of acid reflux, indigestion, different things that maybe are just irritants, symptoms of toxicity in the body, maybe you have a high amount of pork and or fish consumption, it helps eliminate the more or less the bad stuff that gets in our system over time, and to keep the viruses down, and or maybe you just want to keep a more alkaline diet. So this, again, the more we can detoxify our system, keep our body functioning, your cells function better, your organs function better, then everything in our body functions better, all the way up to the performance level. Keeps us away from the doctor. The fifth one that I want to talk about that I do is the Mila on the cleanse, and this one actually is we'll talk about this more later on, but Mila is just one of the top rated chia seeds, and it doesn't matter where foods are grown. So when I talk about the nutrient sources and where things come from, this one's grown around the equator, so it's just a blend of different chia seeds, the highest rated ones on the market, and it's a very high source of omega-3. So when I was talking about earlier about cleansing, we're also looking at fiber. There's two different types of fiber. There's soluble fiber and insoluble. So soluble means, a certain type of fiber that we can put in our body, and there's partially broken down into a gelatin in our system. And so when it sits there in the stomach, it allows more time for basically the minerals and vitamins to be exposed, go to work within our system, but then excrete it. When you have a insoluble fiber, basically there's nothing in our body that can break it down, so we don't absorb it. So they're both good. It just depends on the source. And so when you think about the soluble fibers, you think about Brussels sprouts, some heavier fibers, Brussels sprouts, zucchini, squashes, cabbage. And we think about insoluble fibers, something a little bit lighter in weight, and typically is like your cabbage, collard greens, green beans, almonds. So they're both good, and I would say have a variety both in your diet, because honestly, that's probably one of the biggest detoxers of your intestine. And actually, the highest rated cancer out there is intestinal cancer. So, think about all this, how it relates to our system, and then also when we start thinking about this moving forward in the performance, how this is going to relate to what type of workouts we're doing. So let me finish this real quick, and I'll go into that. But the high source of fiber actually is really great, because it's also filling. And it also determines what our body, basically how it heals in the process. And so, with a high source of omega-3 fatty acids, and once you detox your system, then your nerves can go to work and do what they should do. So I'll go a little bit more in depth on the nervous system, because we can go all over the board with this one, and I have so much time to cover on this. But so those are the top 5 right now for the cleansing. So look at and also you can do your own research on what foods out there are good for cleansing, detoxing the body. But I'd be honest with you, that's the easiest way to keep weight off, is if you learn how to cleanse. You know, for me, when I started really diving in deep to it, it was so easy after that, to the point where, you know, just think about when people are eating. You know, most people are going doing fast food. They're basically just eating cardboard. A lot of processed foods. They go to Dunkin' Donuts, they're eating Starbucks or whatever, you know, fast foods, McDonald's, all this stuff that adds up in their system. Then it makes perfect sense why they're on all these medications, or why they just don't feel good all the time, and just, you know, then you see why it leads to disease later on. So be smart about it, and then your life's a lot easier, and you don't really have to work out as hard. Because if you have, again, you keep the toxins out of your system, it's so easy to keep a rate of metabolism and burn fat, and then you don't have to worry about working out as much. So that's the key right there. Moving into the performance side, you know, if you're looking at losing weight, then I would say, you know, look at really the cleansing phase, because later on when we go more to the balancing phase, that's kind of where your maintenance phase as far as working out. When we're going into the build phase, that's where the proteins, that's when if you're wanting to add muscle mass. So if you're right now, since we're on the cleanse phase, we're talking about cardio. You know, what kind of style of workout should I be focusing on when I'm doing the cleansing? Well, if you're at the phase of cleansing the body, and you're trying to get rid of the chemicals and toxins, and also trying to burn fat and maintain, you're at that phase of that's your goal right now, then yes, high cleansing, cardio work type style workouts, you know, of your choice. Could be swimming, running, fast walking, elliptical, or maybe just something in general. You're doing higher reps in the gym when it comes to the type of weight training you're doing. So that's something to think about when you're doing what style of workout to do. Recovery wise, rehab, you know, for cleansing, I would just say, you know, there's different modalities out there. You know, think of like something like Epsom salt, you know, different things that you can put maybe in a warm bath to basically help remove a lot of the swelling. So when we're talking about swelling, we're talking about, you know, fluid buildup and blood, different types of, or how much blood flow is going in a certain area. Then we're working with hot and cold modalities. That way we can flush out the bad toxins in our system. So that's one way to play with the cleanse philosophy when we're going through on our recovery aspect. And so there's a lot of different modalities for that. If you just want to keep it simple though, hot pack, warm pack, hot tub, hot shower. From the cold side, you know, it could be a cold pack, game ready. You could do, there's this cool device out now, it's called the Kelvin. It's actually this belt, or it looks like the game ready. It could be a sleeve, but it can go from hot to cold basically within 30 seconds, 40 degrees, 106. But that's a different sleeve. But so again, there's different things of ways to play with that. Medical wise, on the medical field, here's the cool thing is, like, if you learn to cleanse your body, I guarantee you're going to be at the doctor's visit a lot less. But when I'm saying cleanse too, I want to think about what can I get rid of. So maybe a lot of you are going to different places for no reason. You know, I have a lot of clients that are constantly going to the wrong provider, meaning they don't need maybe to be going to this doctor. In general, maybe they could have solved this through a certain diet issue, or maybe going to the chiropractor, they could have got something fixed or realigned, or maybe just going through some kind of yoga technique or massage, whatever, to release something. Because I think so many people, every little element they have to go see the doctor for. So, you know, think about this too, is like, if you're one of those that you always go to the doctor and you're kind of like, man, I really, you know, it's getting expensive and my insurance, and it's crazy, you know, sometimes people don't know. So that's one thing you do, just ask. But maybe someone that, you know, with the conditions you're having, what's the best route? Because, you know, a lot of times people just don't know. So they're like, oh, they ask a friend that has no clue, and then they end up going to the doctor for no reason. And just the way the healthcare system is, you get bounced around. Well, then your insurance gets bounced around, and all of a sudden, again, that gets really super pricey, expensive, your time off work, and you're traveling all over the place, and who knows how much time you're spending when you really didn't need to. So just things to think about. You know, be smart with it, but overall, think about the cleanse philosophy, own it. You know, just what are you doing now that you could change? You know, and if you're really not sure, ask, because I think that's always the best way to approach something, is teamwork. And, you know, try to look at it from a different angle if you do have a certain goal in mind and you're just not really sure how to go about to do it. So anyways, I hope that makes more sense on the cleansing philosophy, and, you know, I hope you put that into practice, because I really do believe 100% that if you learn how to detox your body, you know, you're going to spend a lot less time worrying about all the other stuff on the back end.